evening. My name is Jodie Duffy. I currently live in Atlanta, Georgia. First of all, I would like to thank all of our military and their families for the great sacrifices that they make every day so that I can have the opportunity to speak freely here tonight. As a former military officer and an Army wife for the last 30 years, I am here to be a voice for the military members and their families who have been affected by abortion. And I am here to bring a message of hope and healing to all of you. It was 1980. I was 21-year-old and a newly commissioned second lieutenant in the United States Army. I had my life ahead of me, and I had a military career ahead of me. But shortly after I reached my new duty station in Arizona, I realized that I was pregnant. The father was another lieutenant I had met while I was at Fort Benning, Georgia. We had gone our separate ways, and I had no idea how to reach him. He never knew. I was alone, I was pregnant, and I was scared. The decision that I made would change my life forever. With the help of another soldier, I went to Tucson to get an abortion. I was numb when I walked into that clinic. I had no idea what was going to happen to me. The doctor and the nurse tried to explain the procedure, but I was in such a state of confusion that I didn't hear a word that they said. I was awake during that abortion, and the pain and the pressure were agonizing. And when it was over, I went back to the hotel, and I curled up into a fetal position, and I wept. Things would never be the same for me. I knew what I had done was wrong, however, I tried to justify my actions. My friends and my family would never talk to me again if they knew I had been pregnant. I'm starting a new career in the military, and a baby just does not fit into my plans. Then I shoved it deep down inside of me, as deep as I could, and I guarded my secret with a firm grip. Shortly after that abortion, I met and married my husband, who was also an officer in the Army. But instead of making a career out of the Army, I resigned my commission as soon as my 4-year commitment was over. You see, I had lost all my self-esteem, and I lost any desire to excel at my job. My mission as a soldier, as an officer, and a leader was severely affected in a negative way by my abortion experience. I suffered from bouts of depression, anxiety, panic attacks, lack of self-esteem, and a deep sense of loss and sadness. And I was afraid to let anyone get too close to me for fear that they might find out about my secret. My husband and I eventually had 3 children, and I became supermom, perfectionist, overprotective parent, constant worrier, and subconsciously I was trying to gain control of something that I had lost control of when I had that abortion. And I was trying to redeem myself for something that only Christ could redeem me from. And on the outside, it looked like I had it all together. But on the inside, I was empty, and I was dying, and I was in pain. And I had no relationship with God because I thought there was no forgiveness for what I had done.
I live here locally.
But 20 years later, I hit a wall, and the pain and the grief were no longer tolerable, and I could no longer push the pain away, and I could no longer bear my separation with God. Through prayer and guidance from the Holy Spirit, I was led to a ministry in Atlanta called PATH, Post-Abortion Treatment and Healing. And since 2000, I have been a Forgiven and Set Free Bible study facilitator and Rachel Vineyard team leader. I cannot describe in words the healing that I received through that Bible study and through that Rachel Vineyard retreat. And I cannot emphasize enough the importance of receiving some type of post-abortion healing. Perhaps the largest and most effective pro-abortion movement is now being built by those of us who have been affected by abortion and are no longer willing to be silent about its devastating effects. We will be silent no more about the physical deaths of our innocent unborn and the spiritual and emotional deaths of their parents. The choice, once it is made, is a choice that we cannot reverse. However, the effects of that choice can be changed, and what you do with your past experience can affect the lives of so many others in the future. God bless America.